We moved into this beauty of a 1930s renovation property over 7 years ago now, and the very first room that we put our stamp on was this living room. It was granified, freezing cold, and the decor was fresh from the 70s, well overdue an overhaul, just like the rest of the house. And back then I was completely new to renovating and completely oblivious to the future that lay ahead of me. But when we got the keys, I remember walking into this living room and just thinking, honestly, what on earth are we doing taking all of this on? All we knew was that we needed to get at least 1 or 2 rooms looking like they came from the 21st century to keep us sane while the rest of the building work was happening in the house. So in 2017, we ripped out the carpets, removed the storage heaters and the fireplace, and painstakingly stripped all of the floral wallpaper. And this room was where our renovation journey truly started. We laid all new flooring, new electrics, had the room replastered and fitted a wood-burning stove to keep us toasty during the winter. And I have to admit that I'm pretty self-conscious showing you these pictures because whilst it looked a heap better than when we first bought it, it was nowhere near finished nor in line with the vision that I had for the design of this room. We sort of shoved the furniture in, and for a few years it became that functional and sane space that we needed, while the rest of the house was basically in rubble for most of the days. So this room has seen many iterations and work has been very much phased throughout the years. Many of my design clients and renovation students that I work with today, like us, buy renovation properties with a view to phasing the work rather than getting it all done in one hit. Either because finances are stretched and they can't afford to do everything all at once, or because it's actually preferable for them to have building work happen in short, sharp bursts to limit the disruption on their lives. And we were in this boat too. We couldn't afford to complete the whole room to the exact spec that we wanted when we first moved in. So we've been slowly adding to the room over the years, adding fitted shelves and cabinets to the alcoves to improve storage, and we massively updated the interior and the exterior by adding shutters to the curved bay. We slowly developed it into the space that we really love today. The biggest challenge renovators come up against when they phase work in this way is the design. How do you keep every new addition that you're bringing in cohesive with the existing space and avoid it looking mishmash? Sometimes it can take years to build a home, and we're proof of that. Sometimes people's tastes or circumstances can change, so you need to be able to adapt to make choices that will complement each phase. What I advise homeowners to do is to develop a really clear and detailed vision for the layout and design, looking at things like how to future-proof the rooms that you're working with and how to define the interior style that really makes you feel so good. Getting your holistic plan in place before any work begins gives you a blueprint to follow that really ensures that you're not going to be undoing or having to redo work later, and it avoids your design looking mishmash. And it's developing that blueprint that I feel really passionate about helping renovators with in my work and online resources. So in our home, it's always been my ambition to create a timeless, modern country design with good quality finishes, decent storage, and calm, homely styling. Ultimately, to really lift our mood when we spend time in this room. But believe me when I say we definitely made some rookie mistakes along the way, which only proved to me that going off brief on initial design plans doesn't achieve good results in the long run. And one example of this is the time that we sold our beautiful but quite uncomfortable Chesterfield sofa and swapped it for a modern navy blue velvet sofa. It was completely off brief and not the traditional look that we love. We compromised heavily because of a collaboration that we'd agreed to run with a brand. And unfortunately, the sofa that we originally wanted went out of stock, so we had to choose something different to honour the agreement and ended up regretting it. That experience taught me so much. Firstly, don't compromise. And secondly, turn down collaboration requests when they aren't right. Nowadays, we only collaborate with brands when it feels absolutely right for us, which is quite rare. Another mistake was investing in the wrong materials. One of the first changes that we needed to make during this most recent living room overhaul had to be the shelving. We initially installed plywood shelves 4 years ago, which eventually started bowing. So Neil ripped them all out while I designed some updates to the joinery to raise the spec, strengthening the shelves and enhancing the alcove design. It's actually amazing what can be achieved with units that you already have. I put together technical design drawings detailing the carpentry work that we wanted done and ran through it in a meeting with our carpenter. We were able to use and modify the base units to hang new cabinet doors, and we raised the TV so that it's wall mounted on an adjustable arm, hiding all the pesky cables behind the panelling. And we feel all fancy when we move the TV closer to the sofa. We switch off all the lights and sort of enter into cinema mode. So in the new alcove designs, I specified things like the width of the tongue and groove at the back of each alcove. And I also designed this fire surround for our team to build using a mixture of tile, MDF and fire resistant boards. One of the most important things to get right, both in terms of the design, the colour, and the practicality and comfort in any living space, is your sofa. It informs a huge part of the look and feel of the room. Neil and I really shopped around here, visiting many furniture stores to try out the different styles and seat pads, and in the end we went for the Bluebell sofa in Cashew Bailey linen by sofa.com. Full disclosure here though, we didn't get on with the feather filling at all. They lose their shape so quickly and I was forever plumping, so we swapped it to the Qualifil hypoallergenic seat pads, which are a much firmer seat, but we absolutely love them. Okay, you promise you won't judge, but Neil and I are pretty OCD and perfectionist when it comes to plastering and paintwork, mainly because we've seen how it elevates the whole finish of a renovation, and we've also been burned in the past with rookie plastering jobs. We were staring at some poor plastering work for years, so we got a few walls re-skimmed, and if only we knew this plasterer Steve when we first got the keys to the house, because the walls would all be like glass. Because we wanted to remove and rebuild some of the alcove shelving, we knew we'd be disrupting a lot of the plasterwork when we were ripping out the brackets. And for us, that meant replastering the sides of the chimney breasts and the alcoves for a super smooth finish. When the day came to fit the new fire surround and alcove designs, it was like seeing my vision really coming to life. Our team here is the only one that I trust with the designs for our house and on client projects. They are true experts who we also work with for bespoke kitchen designs in Sussex too. So if you're based locally to us in Sussex and you're interested in us designing and building your kitchen, I'll leave a link with how to contact me below this video. Something new renovators can find daunting is knowing the order of events when you're renovating a room or a full property. Our online courses make a huge difference to renovators who are planning because it takes all of the guesswork away and gets you really preparing your designs and layouts correctly. And our chimney breast and alcove design is a really good example of this. I had to select the hearth alongside understanding the dimensions of the herringbone tiles and the height of the fire surround to ensure it wasn't built too high or too narrow for the front tiles to sit well. Having all your ducks in a row in this way decreases the stress dramatically and helps your contractors really understand what it is that they're building for you. The hearth we had laid back in 2017 when the wood burner was originally fitted was always a temporary solution. We had them fitted flush with the flooring, which meant that if we wanted to upgrade it, a new hearth could be laid straight over the top rather than lifting the tiles that we had down already. I source a lot of stone flooring, bathroom tiles and kitchen tiles from Cornerstone, who have branches across the UK, and I really love them because they're specialists and they've sourced really unique limestone that works tremendously well in a modern country aesthetic. The stone we ended up choosing has a beautiful raw edge to bring character. It's dark grey and textured, which disguises any ash fall from the fire. And this beautiful flat grey colour just reminds me so much of the Irish dry stone walls that surround my family's village in Ireland. Part of my work with homeowners involves unearthing design aesthetics that really, truly feels like an extension of them, and I help students understand their design tastes in my renovation and design courses, which is achieving them incredible results. They're producing homes that they love spending time in, making memories with their families and friends, and it really feels like them. So when we were designing this space, Neil and I love nature, we love being out on hikes in the South Downs, and I've always adored the Irish aesthetic, being where my heritage is from. So we made design choices to incorporate these things that we love. I chose Irish linen cushions, a soapstone knot that looks very Celtic, And I printed a photo Neil took of locked out near where my family lives. We also brought in gestures of our walks, like the cut hazel branches and pine cones. And honestly, this space just feels so us, and we're so happy being in here together. So yeah, if you're designing a home right now, it's really worth thinking about what elements can you bring in that really feels like you. Are there any colours or materials that you're specifically drawn to, and bring those into your design plans. Okay, newsflash here. The real reason this transformation has taken so long is actually because I made most of the cushions myself, and it took me ages. If you're watching this and you're a whiz on the sewing machine, don't look too closely at my piping, but it saved us so much money ordering the fabric and cushion fills and then me just making these on the sewing machine myself. Not to mention the whole process was such a therapeutic way to spend my time. Battling with health anxiety and work burnout these last 12 months, it's really moments like these when you're learning something new and you're going at your own pace that really helps you to sort of put your worries aside. The colour scheme in the living room has had a few different iterations over the years as well. We've painted the room 3 times. The first and second time we applied skimming stone to all the walls and Wimborne whites on all of the woodwork, which I personally loved and still do. It's a calm and restful palette that looks as cosy as it does fresh, which is exactly what you want in a living room as the seasons change. But this time round, I wanted to develop the colour palette a little bit further to give the room a sense of depth. And I guess working on colour schemes for clients' homes really gives me so many ideas of what we can do to our own space. So I wanted to try out some new things. So we painted the chimney breast a feature colour, French grey by Farrow & Ball, and the rest of the walls and woodwork we painted shaded white to provide a really soft contrast and a colour drenching effect. Painting the skirting boards and architrave the same colour as the walls is a great technique if you have low ceilings and you want them to appear higher, as it really elongates the walls. We're super pleased with how it all looks. In fact, if you're planning to cut costs on your renovation and do the painting work yourself, Neil and I produced an online course with the support of our professional painters to help new renovators understand how they can achieve a pro finish with the right tools, supplies and techniques. So I'll leave a link down below if you need to build your confidence when you're painting rooms. When all of the styling elements arrived and I started fluffing and plumping, the room really started shaping up. As with all room makeovers though, when you start moving back into the space, you can start to see some snags, things that have been missed, areas that don't feel styled enough, or finishes that sort of need tweaking. And snagging lists are a really big part of the renovation process and not to be glossed over in favour of getting to the finish line. One of the snags we spotted, and something that really bugged me, was how orange the oak door looked. Back in 2017, we oiled this door with Osmo oil to keep it really well protected, and unfortunately it brought out all the orange tones in the wood. We much prefer the lighter oak look, where it sort of looks like it's in oak in its raw form. So Neil arranged to get this door and our dining room door dipped by a local team who came round, took the doors to their warehouse and dipped them in caustic solution to bring the wood right back to its original grain. It meant that Neil could re-oil the door using a lighter solution, and we went for the Neptune Isogard natural oak this time, and the whole time we were applying it we kept singing, It's made such a difference to the room and the hallway with no more orange oak. So yeah, if you're renovating a house and the interior doors need some love, then look around for a local company near you to dip your doors and breathe new life into them. It should save you some pennies and you'll be able to retain the character in your home. It's been a labour of love and an absolute journey to get this living room where it is today. It's a space that we've grown into as a couple over the years, and we've had so much fun together developing it. It really feels like our home. But the biggest thing I want to leave you with though is to take your time, don't rush, and really live in your renovation for a while to understand its true potential. And remember that if you're feeling overwhelmed about where to start, Neil and I are right here to help you with every step of your renovation journey. Whether it's planning the layout, ways to budget and make big savings, or how to achieve the right finish. You can find out more about our online courses and our free guides over on our website, or use the links down below this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and best of luck with your renovation. I'm rooting for you.